Hey everybody, it's Blaze on my new channel. Today we're going to be talking about pro-choice arguments and how they really suck. Now, before you jump to any conclusions, I'm not a young kid. I may have a young face, but I'm 15 years old and I've been experienced with debating people online. But I have a hard time debating stupid liberals in the Instagram comment section. So if you want to go ahead, if you're a bit smarter than most liberals, I would love to have a real debate with you. And if not, you're probably just scared that you're going to get your ass kicked by a 15-year-old. So anyways, hit me up in the comments if you're wanting to have a debate. Probably gotta just download probably just gonna download Discord, so that I could just just create an account specifically for debating liberals and even debating Republicans, because I'm a bit more open-minded than a liberal. I'm not like, ooh, you're not a Republican if you don't have the exact same beliefs as me, ooh, off with his head. Yeah, I'm not a liberal like that. But yeah, if you would like to debate me, then go ahead and, let me know in the comments. So, anyways, ranking arguments from pro-choicers. Now, I don't exactly have the best equipment, so I can't do like a whole like S to F tier thing on my screen, so you'll just have to play it by memory. Maybe I'll write it down, but I have everything written down here. We're going to start from the bottom to the top. So, our first argument, broke. So, basically, because these parents can't afford to take care of this kid, the kid doesn't have the same rights to live as a rich person with a kid, which is a very bad argument because that's exactly what eugenics is. Basically, they are encouraging women to not have children if they don't have financial responsibility to take care of that kid, which is exactly what eugenics are. This is exactly what they did in the early 1900s, where they wanted to get rid of poor people because they thought that poor people were being poor was like a disability. Like there's something wrong in your mind. You were born that way. There's no way you can stop being poor. I mean, that would be true if we lived in a communist country, but thank the Lord we live in a capitalist country and nobody's poor forever unless they're lazy bums, sit on their asses all day and don't do anything but fucking smoke weed and watch fucking. I apologize. I just had to clear my mind because I realized I'm saying the F word too much, and I don't really like saying the F word. Basically, these liberals that say that capitalist systems are being pushed against them are mostly just sit on their butts all day watching CNN, smoking weed and vaping. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about liberal arguments. So the poor one, F tier, because that's eugenics. That's what Bill Clinton wanted to do, and that's what slave owners wanted to do. That's what Jim Crow, the people who supported Jim Crow laws, they supported that. The people in the KKK, they supported that. So you're doing exactly what you say that we're doing. Because that's exactly what Nazis were doing. Eugenics. Eugenics are exactly what liberals say they are not. That's why this is getting F tier. On to the next one. Overpopulation. So, when people say this is kind of where they get to the point that they realize this is a life. It is wrong to murder. Which, once you realize that two things, you should be pro-life no matter what. Then if they're still pro-choice, then they probably just have had an abortion, or they've supported it for too long. They'd feel like a horrible person not continue supporting it. So they come up with these ideas in their mind to kind of cope with the fact that they've done horrible things or believed in horrible things. So plus overpopulation, with that logic, you could kill anyone just because it's overpopulation. That makes absolutely no sense. Yes, you could say we are overpopulated, but that's when you just start asking people to use condoms. Once the baby's already conceived, there's no point in killing it already, because why don't you just go kill some dude in a coma? Why don't you just go kill some kid in the street? Like, and then just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I think that we're too overpopulated, so I decided to go fucking run through a marathon and kill 50 people." Like, it's a bad argument. I'm gonna have to go D tier on that one. Next one, it's just a clump of cells. Every living thing that's ever graced this earth is just a clump of cells. That's what makes it alive. We're all made up of tons and tons of cells. Some people like to say because it has less cells, it's less worthy. But that makes no sense, because just because there's parasites that are literally only one cell, and there's parasites that are made out of 500 cells. They're both still parasites, and just because the one human, like 2 seconds after being conceived, isn't immediately thousands and thousands of cells, means that we can kill them, makes no sense whatsoever. But that's alright, I forgive you, liberals. You guys never make sense. Yeah, so still Homo erectus, still part of the human species, still deserves human rights, which liberals love to advocate for. Okay, next. My body, my choice. People are saying this while they still only have one pair of eyes, one nose, one mouth. Well, there's another pair of eyes, another nose, and another mouth, another heart, another lungs, another stomach, another pair of feet, another pair of legs, another... I already said stomach, another gut. It's not your body. You're connected to it, and for the first few months, it needs you to live, but it also needs you to grow. So it's not your body, so it's not your choice. You shouldn't decide that because it's in you, it deserves to die. Like, that's like saying that, oh, this baby that I have right here, it needs my breast milk for it to live. That means that that means I could kill it if I want, because it needs my breast milk. Your arguments make no sense. Okay, so our next argument is no uterus, no opinion. The basis for this argument is because you will never have this experience, you don't get to have an opinion on that experience. That argument's really dumb because, well, not only if you look at a picture of a walk for life, the majority is probably going to be women. The reason why you think it's men is because men are a lot louder about it, and plus, women, even though they love to claim, feminists, even though they love to claim to be girls, they will shame other women for having their own opinions, which is way worse than anything Christians doing. Are you really calling yourself a feminist and then shaming women because they have their own thoughts and opinions? That's very anti-feminist. And plus, this argument can be used for somebody that was a slave. Somebody could have been a slave for the first year of their life, and that doesn't mean that they can decide whether or not people are slaves. That also means that lesbians wouldn't get a choice. They have a uterus, but they'll never have that experience, which is the entire basis of the argument. Once you take away that, then anybody can say anything about women's bodies. So their argument makes no sense. Like, lesbians, if they're a true lesbian, they'll never have sex, and they shouldn't have to worry about abortion. Thus, they shouldn't have an opinion on it. Men, they'll never be pregnant. They shouldn't have to worry about abortion. They shouldn't have an opinion on it. That's the basis of the entire argument, and it is very, very dumb. I'm just gonna say that. It's dumb, it's retarded, it's definitely not thought through. It's used more to try to reel women in, and less to try to actually make a good argument. This is what they say when a man makes an outstanding argument and they have nothing else to say. I'm sorry, I just realized I haven't actually been rating these. I don't really care about rating them. I care more about debunking them. So if you really had your hopes set on me ranking these, then you might want to click off the video or something. I'm sorry. Or like scream at me in the comments. I don't really care. Now for our last one, we actually have an honorable mention, but for the last one, it is I don't want this child, or the child is unwanted, so I should kill it. Really? So not only are there are 500,000 kids waiting for adoption, while there's 2 million I apologize, 2 million families waiting to adopt. So there's no such thing as an unwanted child, and that's very anti-progressive and anti-liberal, just showing that liberals don't care about being kind or progressive. They care about being right. They care about being the ones that are the smart ones, the right side of history, even though it's not the right side of history. No such thing as an unwanted child. That's like saying I should kill a fucking orphan because their parents left them on the footsteps of a police station. Nobody's completely unwanted, and just because the parents don't want them, one, that's a horrible parent. Two, that does not justify the murder of anything. Especially when vegans are saying stuff like this. Like, are you kidding? We actually have two honorable mentions. The next one that we're going to get into is it's just a parasite. Or especially, I see one today, it's a parasite for the first 4 weeks. So those people have obviously no clue what a parasite is, like no clue at all. Parasites don't stop being parasites, just like reptiles never stop being reptiles, or mammals never stop being mammals. They don't stop becoming parasites when they get pumped out of the womb. That's not how it works, and that's not how anything works. You don't change your family of species just because you're born. And plus, parasites are made so that they have to live off their host, which is the basis of the argument. The babies have to live off their mother, and parasites have to live off their host, meaning the mother's the host and the baby's the parasite. That makes no sense. Parasites don't use the mother to later become not independent on not the mother. Parasites don't use the host to later become independent from the host. The only way he can be removed, this is the majority of parasites. Some parasites are able to live outside of a host for a small amount of time, but most of them almost always need a host to continue living, where they breed inside of a host, feed, and shit inside of the host. Last time I checked, the baby's entire life cycle does not depend on being inside the mother. The first part of it, yes. But parasites are made to also suck the life out of stuff. I don't know the exact health benefits of pregnancy, but I do know that there are mental health benefits. And nobody gets mental health benefits from having a fucking freaking parasite in their balls. Nobody has ever gained anything good from having a parasite, yet babies are probably one of the best things in the world. Like you just can't argue against that. It's a parasite. It's just those people have no clue what a parasite is. Parasites aren't removed because they force their way out. They're removed either through interchanging hosts, most of the time leaving the old host either dead or extremely crippled to the point where they're going to die in 2 weeks. Mothers, there have been people who, there's been one kid who gave birth at 5, went on to live on until they were a senior. That's not what a parasite would do. If that was a parasite, she would live to 10 max. So parasite argument, it sucks. On to our next argument. I apologize. I forgot what it was. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I remember what the argument was now. I had to go talk to my sister about it. But it's the rape/incest argument. So this is really funny because I'm actually going to use this to go along with the life-threatening argument. Rape/incest, when people go get abortions and they give their reason, over 80% of them don't give a reason because they don't have a good reason. They're just being selfish. But But basically, 0.4% of women who go get abortions say that it is because they have either been raped or it was, Okay, so the argument that I forgot was the incest argument, which that and rape makes up for 0.4%, and you could make the argument it's like, oh well, they just didn't want to tell somebody that they got raped. It's like, really? Planned Parenthood are the people that you're scared to tell that you've been raped? Like, I get it if you're scared to tell like your MAGA dad because CNN brainwashed you to believe that all men are evil, but they literally brainwash you to believe that Planned Parenthood are like your like Lord and Savior. Like that's just a really terrible argument. Like it's probably like the best reason to get an abortion. And the life-threatening one, 0.3% of all abortions have been because it was threatening to the mother's life. 0.3%. It is the smallest, out of all the reasons people get an abortion, that one is the least amount of used. And not only that, C-sections, those exist. Like, oh, but I don't want a C-section. It's like, I don't care. Like, it's still the baby's life that's on the line. But yes, I do believe that there should be the only time of an abortion is medically necessary is if the woman's gonna die and a cesarean section is not possible. See, abortion is less about the woman. So, what the pro-lifers try to say is, what about the woman's health? Abortion isn't about the woman's health; it's about the baby's life. Saying that is like having a cure for. Is like having a cure for a person with a cold, but you gotta take out somebody that's completely healthy. Like, yes, that person's health is on the line, but this person's life is on the line. There's such a big difference. So if a cesarean section is not possible, if giving birth is not possible without death or extreme crippling, I believe, yes, it is medically necessary for an emergency abortion. Now, before you leave, I would like to show you guys something a little bit cool that I think you'd like. This is Precious Feet. I'm not going to show it to you yet, but basically, the exact size and shape of a 10-week-old unborn baby. So, just before you start saying that's not alive, I just want you to look at this. I almost lost it. It's quite small, but the size does not determine the value of the human being. But there you have it. Look, next to my figure. Isn't it so cute? So the next time you start calling it a parasite, you start calling it, you start saying that nobody wants it, just remember. One sec, I'm trying to help with the contrast. Is that better? No. Yeah, it's a bit shiny, but look at that. That is the exact shape and size of the baby who was 10 weeks through. Look at that. My dad got this from a Walk for Life. I'm very disappointed. My Walk for Life in my county was canceled. I am so disappointed about that. I was kind of mad at my dad because I thought that he just made me miss it or something, but I don't think my dad wouldn't do that. I was just scared, you know. There's some other facts in here that were pretty cool. Start off with baby's fingers and toes begin to form at 6 weeks after conception. By week 7, the tiny fingers and toes are clearly visible and distinct. 4 weeks later, the fingerprints begin their 7-week formation. The eye color is decided is decided begin to develop just 22 days after conception. The uterus, the womb provides a safe and never mind. That has nothing to do with the baby. Basically, the womb is a safe and warm place for your baby to be. 18 to 20 days after conception, the foundations for the brain are laid, which means it is basically like it's a brain at that point. It's not a huge brain, it's not a full brain, but it's a brain. 10 weeks after that, the brain starts having its activity, starts having, I need to eat, I need to sleep. That's most of the time where you'll start finding that they'll start kicking you. A baby's heart, and I know this one, a baby's heart starts beating only 21 days after conception. 21. That's less than 3 weeks after conception. I heard somebody say that after 2 weeks, it's not even bigger than a grain of salt. 3 weeks, its heart starts beating. Tell me that's not alive when after 3 weeks, its heart starts beating. Anyways, off goes melancholy stuff. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you like it and I hope you subscribe. I will continue making this content. Remember, if you want to debate, just let me know. And if you don't want to debate, that either means that you agree with me or you're a pussy little bitch that's scared to get beaten by a 14-year-old, you little soy boy. Get your shit together. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye!